This is the trading review for the 21st of September 2023, and it's on a Thursday. And I'm a bit disappointed because today I wanted to execute when I saw the signals. That's something that I failed to do yesterday when I had the opportunity to short at R3 and buy at S1 multiple times. And it was during a normal variation day, which means that the risk was lower, but I didn't make the correct entry until my last trade, and I took more trades than I should have yesterday. And today we actually sold off a lot. We sold off 2%, and we created a gap. We were trading outside value and the range yesterday, so we set value even lower for a continuation of the sell-off of R3. We also had an upside hammer on the daily chart, so everything was pointing towards a bearish sell-off. And with a gap, we have two plays: the gap short or gap long. The gap long is if we are down 2%, is an attempt to close the gap. But that didn't happen. We actually had a very difficult first 6 minutes. We had an open auction here. This looked like an open drive, but then we reacted back to the open price and tried to find value lower, and then we bounce again and then again. But after 6 minutes, the candle started to get smaller, and on this candle, I noticed that we were actually making lower highs, and the support was also increasing higher, but I saw an incredibly bearish level 2 signal. There was tens of thousands of shares sitting at 256 and 256.50, and they created a ladder all the way down to 254. And so I tried to make an entry here, but because the price action was so volatile, I wasn't sure if I should place it at 50 cents. Or I tried to see if I tried to wait for a bit of a pullback, but it never happened. It just shut down straight, very fast, very rapidly. And I missed out an entry here, which could be pretty much the engulfing of the previous 5-minute candle for acceptance of the gap, pretty much. So we were gonna sell off in the direction, and then we had this candle, and then we had a pullback here, and I could have made an entry here again on this pullback with a stop loss just past the previous day close, but I didn't, so that's a mistake. And then I could have made another entry here at the engulfing of this 2-minute candle, but it will be more difficult because now we're creating a lot of wicks, and I don't know where the resistance is for my stop loss. And I drew these squares to see perhaps a bit more clearly where I could place my stop loss. And the entry here should have been on every pullback because the move is about 60 cents or 70 cents or 80 cents stop loss. So I'm not too comfortable taking that because I don't know if the move's gonna give me that return. So I didn't make an entry here, but the pullbacks were decreasing to the top side. So every time we pull back lower and lower and lower, and so that was a signal that there was a lot of buyers as well. And on this hammer really completely stalled me on my entry here at the breakdown of S4, because it could be a reversal, especially with the largest amount of volume after the first candle. So I hesitated. We saw this pullback, and after we failed this pullback, this is where I wanted to make my entry with a 50 cent stop loss, but I didn't pull the trigger. It was too fast, and then it failed. I failed to take it, and that's where we had the biggest run. But the crucial entry was here, I suppose, but it was in no man's land to take it. But the loss of the open price was nice. And then here we had a weird reversal. We actually had a ladder further down, but it decided to reverse. And I made a mistake here in anticipation of S4. Uh, I placed my entry on the engulfing with a stop loss at 257.50, and we kind of pushed down, but I should have placed my stop loss at break even if we rejected S4, but I didn't, and I took the full loss. And then here my logic was, which was kind of correct, but it was anticipated once more. So another bad trade is I knew that, okay, we accepted value lower, we open lower, and we didn't gap up. We actually had an open auction and we decided to go down. So we have a direction. We are not gonna pull back to close the gap unless something extreme happens. But usually the sellers won the battle. So any entry at near the open price is gonna result in another drop because the stock is weak. So I should have done that, but with the perfect signal and not just an area entry with a stop loss so close to the open price. So you can see here that I made my entry a bit early with a stop loss just above the open price, but it got triggered. It got triggered because it was within the normal range of the price movement. On the engulfing of this candle, I could have made my entry and then profit here for a nice 258, let's say 258 for the sake of simplicity. 256, that's a $2 move, that's 4R. And so that's a nice move for me to partial at half R and then 3R and then 4R. That's a nice move, but I got stopped out here, and then I realized, you know what, I should have waited for the open price to be hit and then make an entry. The ladder of the ask was empty, and then the price pulled back once more, and then it tried to push higher and higher, but now it's struggling here at the open price, and it's kind of form a normal distribution day. So choppiness. We did have white pivots. The reason being that we had a late sell-off, so we actually had a big range yesterday, but it was near the close. So now we're having a normal distribution, choppiness, and it kind of ruined the trade, but this range here was the best opportunities to take, and I didn't take them. So these are two gap shorts, but I did not execute them, and they were anticipated. Okay, so same here. Gap short, not executed. Doesn't matter. One for bad trades out of my 20 sample day. So in this one, try to anticipate after being nervous early on pulling trigger. So it's a bit disappointing, but I think that's something I have to work on for next week. And I have to do it and keep doing it and not just fall back into my old habits. I guess 6 emotionally, 6 cognitive state. Pre-market analysis. Expect the stop losses and try to adapt to miss opportunities. I don't hit goal. Those trades were too much in anticipation. 2, 2, 3, 0, 2, 1, minus 2.2. So bad Thursday, bad Wednesday. What's frustrating is that I see the opportunities, I understand the price action, but I don't pull the trigger, and then I just start to get out of my game. I need to pay attention to the levels and act on them. Uh, Here we can see that we have a pretty wide range of price movement. And I should be looking for an entry to the short side, but I wasted my opportunities here on these moves here. And now it's just gonna be a matter of waiting and seeing what's gonna happen later in the day. But I think we cannot set value at the open price. So in my format doji, we have the same amount of buyers and sellers to the top and the bottom. But that's it for the trend review. Hopefully tomorrow I can have a much better day.